Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Tuesday the 25th of October 2022. I hope you are keeping well this Tuesday. It's Tuesday morning here in Bangkok and I have no idea where what time it is or even what day it is when you are watching this video, but enjoy your life anyway. Somebody who seems to be enjoying life today is Rishi Sunak, new Prime Minister for Britain. And let's hope he can do a better job than his predecessors. But he has been part of the government. Remember, the Tories have been in power for the last 12 years, so it will be a bit... I don't know, I'm not really expecting a great deal of change. I noticed that he is a Hindu, and yesterday was Diwali. And I hope you are recovering and had a great Diwali if you are in India or anywhere around the world and celebrate that festival. I hope you are recovering well, not too tired today. But I noticed that the only way really that an Asian or a person of Asian background could become Prime Minister is by leading the Tory party. Could you imagine if an Asian had been fielded by the Labour Party? Could you imagine what the Daily Mail, the Express, these are rabid racist newspapers, apart of course from Murdoch's organs like the Sun. Can you imagine what headlines or how they would have, tried to make out the fact that, he's an Asian, tried to play up that point. Sorry, I'm mixing up my words this morning. Tried to play up the point that he's an Asian and bring out the racism in their readership. Of course, he's a public school boy. He married into a great deal of money. Here in Thailand, that's something we know a lot about. We're experts on that here in Thailand. We know about marrying into money. But he married into a great deal. His reported worth, combined with his wife, is around 730 million pounds, apparently. That's reported. I'm not sure if he put up the 1 million and she put up the 729 million, but anyway, I think he did okay out of his marriage. And he himself seems rather reasonable, but he is a Tory, he is a Conservative, and he's going to be putting forward policies that, help and abet rich people to continue in their work. He's not as bad as many of the others, it's quite true. But, to expect some kind of radical change, I think is going to be pretty unlikely. And, Britain is supposed to be a democracy, not not run by a single person. So even if he does have some more unusual ideas, they might get poo-pooed by the other Conservatives. But it is quite a feat, though, to become the leader of the UK. If this is the first time a non-white or non-Caucasian person has become Prime Minister, and that is something to be celebrated because multiracial society has been going on since before I was born, but, people still face huge amounts of racism in the UK. Black and brown people face racism on a daily basis, and there is systemic racism as well. Is it as bad as the US? Probably not, but it's certainly there. And there just is that background, it just is there. Anyway, so, congratulations to him. Now do something positive for working people. Pretty unlikely, but anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed. Right, okay, let's get on with today's Guardian medium level Sudoku puzzle. And I'm going to start, do I have to tell you the rules? Really? All right, very quickly. Numbers 1 to 9 in each of these blocks. If you see a gap, put a number in there, but don't just put any number in. Make sure it fits logically. Same thing for the columns and the same thing for these small boxes. Right? You've got 9, 7, and 4. We've got other numbers between 1 and 8. Obviously, we get up to 9 to fill in here. Right, that's it. Got it? Right, let's see how we go about doing that then. Normally, today is a pretty simple... Normally, Tuesday is a very simple day. They call it medium, but it's generally an easy level game. So let's see. Look, we've got an intersecting 9. You see this 9 here? It blocks across here. When I say block, what I mean is it cannot reappear in this row. This 9 blocks across here. These two squares are outlawed. We have a 9 blocking up this square up here because it's in this column. And look, one 3 3 and 2 fill up these empty white squares here, so we have just one white space here, so that's where the 9 must go. Now we can take that 9 down here, and now in this block here we've got one empty square where the 9 can go. Got it? Right. Excuse me. We can also say that this 6 blocks across here like this, giving us a 6 in that square there. And then a 4 will be the last number that we need to have the whole series of 1 to 9 in this block. Right now you know how to play Sudoku. It's easy, isn't it? Great. In this column here, we don't yet have a digit 4. You see we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So 4 and 8 are the missing numbers. But look, 4 can't possibly go in that square because it's already in this row. So 4 goes there and 8 goes there. Right now you're really cooking with gas. Although, can you afford to cook with gas if you're in the UK? This is the question. Right. So let's see what else is happening around the board. I'm just doing this very briefly, sporadically, definitely not following any kind of methodology here, just doing stuff randomly, but the way I like to play the game sometimes, quite often actually, if truth be known. Let's see if I can see anything else very easy just to go on with, because as I mentioned, Tuesday is generally an easy level day. Where are you? Come on, there's got to be something very simple. I know there has to be. Although having said that, from time to time they shake us up by doing something unexpected, giving us an actual game where we have to think about things. Rather than just automatically, or rather than just going on autopilot. Okay, here's one we can get. We've got 8s blocking down here and 8 across here, so that's where the 8 goes. Okay, so let's see now. 3, 5, and 7 are missing down here, so 3s are up there. The 5 and 7. Okay. All right, so in this column here, dear viewer, the missing numbers are 3, 5, and 7. We don't have 3, 5, and 7 in this column. We have everything else. When we examine this square, we ask ourselves, can it be 3? And we look around and we say, hey, no, there's a 3 in this block already, so it can't be 3. Can it be 5? Hey, no, there's a 5 in this row already, so this is not 3 and not 5, and we only have 3 missing numbers, so it has to be the other one, which is 7. Okay, got the idea, right? Now, if this is 3 and 5 now, we know that because we've already put the 7 here, so we're only left with 3 and 5, and we now know that this is 7 to finish this block. Or you could just say 7 blocking down here, and therefore the 7 goes there. Many ways to find the same answer in Sudoku you will find. Now we have 5 blocking this square here, so 5 must fit into that square there, and the 4 will be in that square there. 5 blocks across here and 5 blocks across here, so this is where our 5 goes. Shall we look and see what's missing across here? Let's have a quick look. What we don't yet have is 1, 2, and 6. Now we can't say which is which yet. We only have an intersecting 1 here and a 6 there. So we are not quite sure yet. But we've done some stuff here. Let's see what we have. Okay, I think we're going to have another look at this just to see what we can see. I'm doing this because I suspect that there will be something easy that I should do next, because as I've said several times already. Okay, so what I've noticed now is that the 6 and the 2 block across here, so these two squares can only contain 6 or 2. Is that going to help? Maybe not, but if this is 6 and 2, what's at this end here? So we've got 6 and 2 in these squares. So when we look at the other numbers, we can see that we're missing 3 and 8. 3 and 8 must be in these two squares, because we have, see, 6 and 2 blocking across here, 6 and 2 are there. So 3 and 8 will make up the rest of this row, and now we can see that the 8 blocks that square there, so that's where the 8 goes, and this is where the 3 goes. Getting the hang of it. Good, good. Now we know that this is 1, 2, and 6, I think. So that means that down here we don't have 1, 2, or 6. We have the other numbers, which will be 4 and 7. Now we can't get those just yet. We'll keep that in mind. 4 and 7 are in those squares. Right. Shall we? By the way, this is taking kind of longer than it often does on a Tuesday. So maybe I think they're upping the game just a smidgen, just to make sure that we can't do the game without some consideration, which is good, I think, even if you're a beginner. Although, you know, I understand if it's really like your first time or something, it's easy. You might want to give up on Sudoku if you fail a few times. Don't fail. Don't give up, rather. You can fail. That's okay. Nothing bad happens when you fail at Sudoku. If you're making a video on Sudoku, though, the comments section might hound you, but you're not doing that, are you? You're just trying to play the game. So in that case, nothing bad happens when you fail at Sudoku. Right, we have 5 blocking down here and 5 across here, which I should have seen ages ago probably, but anyway, let's do it now. So we got 5 down here, so this will be our 5 in this square. Now 5 blocks this square, so now we can say the 5 is here and the 3 is here. 2, 4, 6. Okay. Right. We haven't got any completed digits yet, so that's interesting. Normally after this amount of time on a Tuesday would have got at least a few completed digits. So I think it is slightly more difficult than general, as I mentioned. Now, there are many people who tell you this is not the way to play Sudoku, and they have perfectly valid arguments and perfectly acceptable. By the way, I can't finish the 5s off because they're in these squares like this. So if you've not played Sudoku before, you should notice that if this one is 5, this will be 5. If this is 5, then that will be 5. But as yet, we don't know which is which. I was saying, yeah, so there are many ways to play Sudoku, and you can develop your own way, your own style of playing. I think is a good thing, you know, by just practicing quite a lot and trying some things out and see. Make sure that logic is sound, though. If you think you've got an idea about logic, you have to test it out many times and to prove that it's right. Okay, we have an 8 to go in this square here now. And we still can't finish the 8s off because 8s are like this. As I said, that's kind of slightly trickier than the general Tuesday. Okay, so what do we have there? We have Okay, so I can tell you what I have discovered. Now, this might seem a bit difficult if you have never played the game before, but I have seen this 8 and 9 in this row, and this 8 and 9 in this row, and this 8 and 9 in this column. So you can see the blocking pattern looks like this. So what does it mean? It means that this square and this square must contain 8 or 9 in this block. No other position is possible for 8 or 9 because of the blocking patterns that you see, right? So if these squares must contain 8 or 9, then this square and this square must not be 8 or 9 for this row. Got it? So when we find out what else is missing, we find that it's 2 and 5 that must appear in these squares because 8 and 9 are here. Now 2 blocks this square, so we know that the 2 must appear here, and the 5 is in the remaining square, which will go there. And now we can get this 5 blocking across here, and now we can get our first completed digit. 5 is now done. Okay, hope you understood that. If that was a bit tricky for you, go back and replay it and have another look at it, and I'm sure you'll get it this time. Now we have 2 blocking down here, and we have 2 across these squares here. There are other ways to find the same digit, but I mentioned it that way. Now there is 2 blocking up here, and there's 1 across there, so we know that the 2 must fit into that square. What else do we need? 2 missing numbers here are 1 and 6. We don't yet have a 1 or a 6 here, but we have a 6 blocking there. So 6 is there, and the 1 must go there. Then the 1 blocks down here, and 1 blocks up here, and that's our digit 1 placement. And the 6 blocks down here and 6 blocks down here, so we know in fact that 6 goes there. Then 6 blocks across these 2 rows, giving us a 6 here. And now there's just 1 empty square across this row. That's for a 4. 4 then blocks up here, so 4 goes there. The last number to get here is a 7, if you look carefully. Now we are sure to be able to get this. Why? Because all we have to do is find out what's missing from here, then we make the complete set here, right? So what's missing from this column is 3 and 9. So if this is 3 and 9, this has to be 7. Can we actually get the 3 or 9? No, we can't yet. Okay, so we have to hold off on that. But what we can do now is we can say there's only 1 empty square in this column, and so we can fill that in, and that will be filled in with a 4. And now there's just 1 empty square for this column or this block, and that will be completed with a 7. Right, okay. Oh, wow, this is a very enjoyable game for a medium level game. It's kind of borderline medium or easy, but it's nice. I like it. Right, now let's see what's going on over here. So how are we doing with the 1s? What do we know about digit 1? We know that they must appear in those squares there. Now when you see, as I said before, 1 here, 1 there, 1 here, 1 there. So that's no good, is it? What do we know about the 2s? Well, we have 2s in those squares, and we have 2s up there, same kind of thing. What do we know about the 3s? Oh, absolutely sweet Fanny Adams, some people might say. 4s are like this. Wow. Okay, 5s we've done already. 6s then. Here we get it now. So 6 blocks across here like this, and 6 up there. So that's where the 6 must go. Then we'll take that 6 down here, and 6 up here, and 6 across there, and now we know 6 is our second completed digit. Excuse me, I'm running out of voice again. Hope not, because I've got a lot of speaking to do today. Okay, so missing numbers in these 2 squares now are 3 and 3 and what? 2 and 3. 2 and 3 here. Okay. Okay, 8 and 9. Okay. Alright, so missing from here, I think this is where we have to look, is 1, 4, and 7. So we have 1 and 4 in the same column. So 1, 4, and 7 in these 3 squares. We have 1 and 4 in this column. So this square can't be 1, can't be 4, must now be 7. And that is going to give us the final digit 7. Oops. 7's blocking down like this, and then 7 appears in that square there. 5, 6, 7, we're filling out from the middle today. That's a bit like me, I'm filling out from the middle. Can't get my trousers on anymore. 3, 4, 9. So we have 4 blocking across here, and we have 4 blocking down here. 4 goes in that square. We have 4 across here, and 4 across here, and 4 there. We're still in the middle. 4, 5, 6, and 7 are complete. We're looking for the edges. 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9 still to be done. Let's see what goes in here. It's a digit 1, so let's place that. And we've got 1 going up here, and across there. That's where the digit 1 goes. That's finished now. We also have 1 missing number up here, which will be a 2. And 2 will block down here and across there, so that will give us 2 in that square. We're now looking for only 3, 8, and 9. I see 8 and 9 here. That means this must be a 3. I can see it more quickly like that. 3 blocking down here. That's where the 3 goes. 3 blocks across here. 3 is here. And 9 is in that square. 9 is the last number we need for this block. 9 blocks up here. So 9 will appear there. The missing number for this block or this column is 8. This 8 blocks that square, so 8 goes there. Or you can just look down this column and find out what's missing. Whichever way you see it is easier for you. And then we have a 3, which will be the last number for this row, this column, or this block, and the grid. And thank you to The Guardian. That was rather enjoyable medium level game there from them. It probably was a medium level by their standards anyway. That's it. Bye-bye.